How do promoted listings auctions work? What's the cost per click? Let's find out. Hey, I'm Pam Duthie and I'm here to help you craft your career with creative marketing and artistic inspiration. I took my Etsy shop from nearly closing down from lack of sales to having to temporarily shut down due to too many sales in just a couple of years, and I want to share with you the tips and tricks that I learned to get myself to that position. So if that's something you're interested in, you should consider subscribing and come back every Monday. So I just want to ask you, do you use promoted listings? What kind of ratio of cost for the adverts to revenue are you getting back from them? If you could just leave your answer in the comments below and we can have a look at how everyone's doing with these. So if you check out in the card some of my other videos on promoted listings, you'll see why I consider these to be some of the best advertising and the best value out there. And the reason I love promoted listings so much is, if done correctly, most people are finding roughly for every $10 they put into advertising, they get $100 back in revenue. But they have to be done correctly, and to do them correctly, we have to understand a little bit about how the bidding system works. So I want to take you guys to my super classy animations to explain this. Okay, we have 4 players in this bidding war. We have Mr. Fox, Mr. Tycho Doghead, Mr. Giraffe, and Mr. Boston Terrier. And they all have their promoted listings turned on, and they all want to show up for the term needle felted. So Tycho really wants to win at this advertising lark. So he has his cost per click set all the way up at $1, and his budget for the day is $5. Mr. Battle Giraffe, he's also really keen, so he thinks a high cost per click will be good as well. So he has his cost per click set at $1, but his budget is also only $1 because he doesn't have that much money. Mr. Silver Fox, his cost per click is set at 25 cents. And his daily budget is also $1. And poor Mr. Boston Terrier, his budget is $1 and his cost per click is only 1 cent. Now when it hits midnight, everybody's daily budget restarts, so everybody's at their full price and the bidding wars begin. We're going to make a couple of quick assumptions here just for the ease of this demonstration, and the assumptions are going to be that every minute a person is searching for this term, and that the advert that they win, that person will click on. Obviously this is not real life, there's thousands of people searching, and when they see an ad they don't necessarily click on it, but this is just for the ease of demonstrating to you guys. And the other assumption is it's always these 4 guys in the ring. This is not the case. When the bidding wars start, the bidding robots put up random different people. So even if your cost per click's really low, like Mr. Boston Terrier here, there will be some random chances that you will be seen right at the beginning of the night when there's lots of high bids in as well. So it turns midnight and someone searches for needle felted. So the Etsy promoted listings bot for each of these 4 guys runs into the ring to put forward their bid at getting their advert seen. Mr. Boston Terrier cries out, sticks his hand in the air and says, "I bid 1 cent." And Silver Fox cries out, "No, I bid 25 cents. Boston Terrier at this point has to back out and say, "That's too hot for me, mate. I can't deal with that." So now Mr. Tycho Head sticks his hand into the ring and goes, "I bid 26 cents. At this point, Silver Fox drops out, tells us, "Nope, I can't compete with that." So we've got Giraffe now sticks his hand in the ring and says 27 cents, 28, 29, 30, and it goes all the way up until finally Mr. Tycho Head says $1. And at that, Mr. Giraffe has to gracefully withdraw from the bidding because he can't go above $1. So at 1 minute past midnight, Mr. Tycho Head has got the first view on the board. So it's 12:01. He gets one view and his budget is down to, I keep wanting to draw pounds instead of dollars, but it's down to $4. And this is 1 minute into the night. And then this goes on. It's 2 minutes past midnight and suddenly this bidding war starts again. 1 cent, 25 cents, all the way up until finally, whichever one of these two again, let's say it's Mr. Tycho Head, he again wins it. It's 12:02. He's won again, that's twice in a row. He's got 2 clicks, but he is already down to $3. The bidding war starts again. 1 cent, 25 cents, 26 cents, 27 cents. And this time, Mr. Giraffe wins it. Yay! So, it is 12:03 and Mr. Giraffe has paid his dollar. So that's his budget. So he is out of there. Bye-bye, Mr. Giraffe. So it is 3 minutes into the new day and we've already got one player out of the game. He can show no more adverts for today. And so now we're on to the next round of bidding. 1 cent, 25 cents. But Mr. Tycho Head, he can step in and he can say 26 cents. So at 4 minutes past 12, Mr. Tycho Head is down to $2, and we'll just round it down to 25 cents so that I can actually do the maths easily, but you can see how this is going. $2.75. So now this means for the next few rounds of bidding, there's no one that can get higher than Mr. Tycho Head. So this means that for 11 more minutes, he wins all the time. He gets 11 more hits. And then he is down to $0 and he is again out of there. So that means we have Mr. Tycho Head got seen 14 times in this case. 14 times and 1 time. And it is now 15 minutes past midnight. So at this point, both of our big rollers have spent up. They're totally out of there. At 15 minutes past midnight, they've blown through their budget and they can no more have any adverts seen. And 15 minutes past midnight, there's hardly anyone online and it's not usually big shoppers at this stage. So now we've got these two little guys who can bid against each other. So it's 16 minutes past midnight. 1 cent, 2 cents. Can't compete with that. So at 12:16, little Mr. Silver Fox pays his 2 cents. So he is down to 98 cents. And between these two, he is going to keep on winning because, sorry, Mr. Boston Terrier, you just can't compete with that. With that 25 cents, you're only going up to 1 cent. So bidding war means you're only having to pay 2 cents for each ad. So this of course means you're going to win 49 more times. So you're going to win for a total of 50 times. And that is going to take us to 6 minutes past 1. And now Mr. Silver Fox is out of the game. And it's only little Mr. Boston Terrier that's left. Last man standing. And so that means from 1:07, this little guy has all the bids to himself. And he's going to be seen a total of 100 times for his $1. So if we think about the graphs for 2 different people, one with a high cost per click and one with a low cost per click. If on the x-axis we have time and on the y-axis we have views, then the person with a high cost per click, at midnight they're going to have a fair number of views because they're getting the ads, but not long after midnight this is going to drop away to nothing as their budget runs out. So they're only seen for a very short time during the night. Whereas the low cost per click person is going to start off at midnight with relatively few of their ads being run, getting seen very little, and then as the day moves on, as the higher cost per click people run out of budget and their adverts are no longer seen, the low cost per click person starts to get seen some more. And what we've got, if you look at the time that shoppers are actually online, the people that are on Etsy, that's going to be relatively low at midnight in comparison. It is a worldwide place, but we're going to build up to a bit of a peak. Usually American time is going to be the highest views, so from building up from lunchtime and then falling away again in the evening. So your low cost per click person is getting seen at the time when there's the maximum audience there, whereas your person who's paying the most and coming up to their budget is not getting seen at all. Their ads are not running at the time when the peak shoppers are active. So roughly how this works is you set yourself a daily limit of how much you want to spend, and then either you tell Etsy to choose for itself a sensible amount to bid for you, and you can cap that at a cost per click, or you set your bidding maximum yourself. And every time someone searches for something that Etsy believes your item is relevant for, and these can be terms that aren't just in your tags, so it's a great way to get extra information. So at this point Etsy's bot starts to bid on your behalf, and if you have the highest bid then your advert will get shown. It's a little more complicated than this, and there's all sorts of factors, so it's not a case of the person with the lowest cost per click won't get seen at midnight. As you can see from some of my daily graphs, I get seen all throughout the day, but I am getting seen the most at the times when the most shoppers are in Etsy. So basically, if you set your cost per click too high, you'll blow through your budget very quickly without getting many clicks and without getting seen by many people. If your cost per click is lower, then you have the option to be seen many more times and get many more clicks, so you have a far better chance to actually get the sales. It depends on the competition and the niche as to what is the best cost per click for your item, but I would recommend initially going down as low as you can to around 1 cent to see how that works out. And then if you're just not getting enough impressions through the day at all, you feel you could do a little better, then experiment by increasing that a little bit until you're happy that you're getting seen at the best point of the day, but you're not spending too much money for it. So I hope that helped. Don't forget, click on my wee face to subscribe. Come back every Monday for more of these tips and tricks of how I grew. Give me a thumbs up and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.